In this video, I'll show you how to create mileage rates in TimeLog, also with periods, and I'll show you a few additional settings that you want to have done before you start creating your mileage rates. Now, if you go into the system administration and you go to time and expense registration and expense and travel registration settings, you can see now that there's a few new options here. The first one applies to if you reimburse your employees. TimeLog can now split that reimbursement into your salary system into a taxable and non-taxable part. And this makes sense if you reimburse your employees more, then they can be reimbursed tax-free in the country they work in. The second one here, you can choose if your mileage registration should land on a specific account in your finance system. And the third one here is whether or not you should see the odometer and whether or not the employees should fill in the mileage on the odometer when they start and stop their journey. I'll just take this off for now. So to create a mileage registration, we go over here, mileage rate. We go over here to mileage rates. And you can see now that on this test site, we have a few mileage rates already. And you will probably have some too if you register mileage in your company. Now, with this new release, you should only have a few default mileage rates, and then whenever you need to update that mileage rate, you simply update the period on that mileage rate. So you shouldn't have a long list of mileage rates after this release, which can confuse your employees when they have to select the mileage rate. So I recommend that after having created your new mileage rates, that you deactivate all of these so they won't appear anymore and just operate with the new ones. I want to create a mileage rate. I go into new mileage rate and I call this private cars in TimeLog. Now we have a policy of reimbursing our employees, so I select this one. And this option here, it tells TimeLog whether or not this mileage rate should be the default for a private car, because the employee can create a new car in the TimeLog mobile app, which I recommend that you get because it's so much easier when you're on the road to register mileage on that. And then this rate will be the default rate for that car. Now down here you can see this is relating to the taxable and non-taxable share for your salary system, and this is the codes that you need to put in so the salary system can recognize which part is taxable and which part is non-taxable. So this depends on your specific salary system, but I call this first one non-tax and this one tax. I save, and you see now the new thing here is that we have periods underneath. So TimeLog wants you to create a new period where this mileage rate is applied. So I just say this is for the rest of the year. Our employee gets reimbursed for 5 Danish kroner. In Denmark, I think it's 3 kroner and 65. That is the tax-free mileage rate. Cost 5, and I'm not making any money, so I'm not invoicing more than my cost. Now, whenever I register mileage on this period, TimeLog will send 3.65 to your salary system with a non-tax code, and the remaining 1.35 to your salary system with the tax code. So the salary system can handle the taxable and non-taxable mileage compensation. You will also notice that TimeLog has created a new period down here, and this is because you always want a period where your employees can register time. You don't want to be in a position where there is no period to register time on. So this is impossible in TimeLog from now on. So there will always be a period with a mileage rate. So I know from 1st of January the mileage rates will change. So I update this for the rest of 2020. I say the reimbursement will be 5.5. The non-taxable share has risen to 3.85 because new government rules. And I actually also want to be making a little bit money on this one. So this is the invoiceable part, the sales price. And I save this one. What happens now is that when we reach the 1st of January and your employees who's using this mileage rate register mileage, they will automatically register mileage on this new period, because this just changes in TimeLog. So you don't have to make a new mileage rate for the next period. It's all within this one mileage rate, and you just update the periods as you go along, and the employees won't see this. And you'll also notice that TimeLog has created a new period here where it has copied the previous values. I can say this, and in the overview here I can see it appears down here. I can see the values here, and I can see it's a default mileage rate. This is mileage rates in TimeLog after the new